Hi everyone, it's Jenny at JC Cards. I've got a fun and quick video to share with you today featuring a technique that I know has been around for a while, but it's super fun. I haven't done it for a while, is stenciling with your dies. I'm using products from the new January 2020 release from Altenew, and this video is actually featured as part of a blog hop. I'll link to my post in the description box below. That's got all the details on the hop, all the stops, and there's lots to check out, so be sure to give it a visit. You'll also see a couple more cards that I've created with this release. So I'm going to be using the Retro Plantines stamp set and coordinating dies in my video today. This is a look at the insert in this stamp set. I love how modern it is, super cool, and I thought if I use my coordinating dies to create a stencil and shift it, I can create an ombre look which will go with this modern feel of this stamp set. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm taking this die and I've got a panel of A2 white cardstock here. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just sturdy enough that it can take quite a lot of ink. And I've die cut this larger image die from the center of the panel. And it's important that your panel for your stencil is the same size and shape as the panel you're going to be stenciling onto. It just makes it a little easier to line it up. I've adhered temporarily my panel for my card down onto my Altenew mat, and just so it doesn't shift, I'm using some washi tape. And I'm not going to adhere down my stencil because I want to move it, and you could do that, but I just hold it with my hand and it's absolutely fine. So I'm going to be using this set of inks from Altenew. This is the Cherry Blossoms set, and this technique is super fun for particularly the ombre collections of inks that you get from Altenew. So every ink comes in a set of 4, going from light to dark, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this technique. So I'm starting off with the darkest ink from the set. That's Razzleberry, and I am holding my stencil over the panel. I've made sure to line it up with the top edge of the panel I'm blending onto, and then straight line down. I've made a note of where it lines up with the grid on my mat, and I'm moving it to the right every time 2 squares. That way my images are perfectly aligned, and you'll notice I've done it 5 times and there's only 4 inks. So I've gone from dark to light, and then on the final one I moved it, I just very, very gently blended in from the edges, and it creates a much paler colour, and it kind of gives the illusion that you've got 5 inks there. So when I'd finished, I lifted it up, and lo and behold, I've got a lovely ombre, almost kind of silhouette or shadow look. And then I'm going to take the coordinating stamp from the Retro Plantines stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it just one in from the right hand side, in grey ink. Now, I've put my panel to one side. For my sentiment, I've used the one from the set. Again, this is a super modern font. I'm going to stamp it onto some black cardstock. This is jet black cardstock from Altenew in embossing ink. I have treated the panel with my powder tool beforehand just to remove any static cling, and then I'm heat embossing it in white embossing powder. Now, originally planned for this card, and I did make it once before, so you'll notice the photos are slightly different to the one I'm making here. I was going to trim out the sentiment completely just as a square, but actually with that movement of the ombre stenciled images, I thought that a strip of black cardstock for the sentiment would look a little bit cooler, a little bit more modern, and then I'm just popping it up with foam tape and trimming off the excess, and I left it just at that, popped it up onto £110 white note card. I didn't add any other embellishments and just wanted to keep it super clean and simple and super modern. And you could do this with any of the stamps and dies in this new release and any of the ombre ink collection that you have. You could even do rainbow. There's loads of possibilities to this technique. And that finishes my card. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, here's a couple of other videos you might want to check out. And if this is the first time on my channel, I'd love it if you'd consider subscribing. Have an awesome day. Bye.